and welcome to EBA Day 2019 in Stockholm. I'm Hannah Wallace, and kindly joining me now in the TV studio is Michael Steinback, CEO of equensWorldline. Hello Michael, thank you very much for coming in and speaking with us today.
You're welcome, thank you.
Now, open banking and instant payments are still a work in progress, but what do they mean for the European payments industry?
So first of all, we believe that open banking and instant payments is really a match in heaven, because it serves benefits and advantages for customers. A lot of use cases are actually already existing. Example is international liquidity management. But it's much more than, let's say, a customer experience. So it really also changes the payment landscape in Europe, because payment service providers are able to really also reposition themselves and restructure also the payments area.
And over the years we've seen lots of developments impacting the international payments landscape, but how have these developments impacted the European payments market?
Now, unfortunately, in the past, it has not always perfectly worked out. If you look on the POS market, it's now dominated by two US American schemes, meaning MasterCard and Visa. If you look on e-payments, so it's a lot of with PayPal, and domestic developments which were set up in Europe in several countries have not really worked out to compete. And so this is why we believe that there is now also really a need to take this last chance, how we see it, and get back the payments under control, at least the payments which are initiated in Europe, which are working there. Otherwise, we clearly see a lot of also disadvantages for the European financial industry up to the consumers, because you will see that the squeeze where currently already European banks are in, between the domination of US dominated and located schemes and the Chinese schemes, with meaning WeChat and Alipay, will really take over and further get their market shares in Europe.
Well, following on from that quite nicely then, how can the European payments market position be strengthened?
So I think it's all about cooperation, collaboration. So it is important that Europe, and especially the banks in Europe, and I mean in particular the CEOs in Europe, are getting together and let go their personal interests, national interests, and really take a more bird view on Europe and bring the interest together to build a European scheme. So don't misunderstand me, I don't ask for shutting down domestic schemes, but I'm asking for openness on collaboration on a European level, because with an introduction of a European scheme, 300 million Europeans will have immediately this European scheme in their pocket. And this is already, I think, a big step, and will also over time lead outside of Europe to the need that in other regions of the world, this scheme needs to be accepted.
I think it's safe to say there's been a real shift in mentality, but why is all this collaboration and sort of global perspective important going forward?
Now, although European banks are predominantly local, the customers ask for cross-border solutions because they are traveling, making their holidays, and they want to be free, and I think they all got also the benefits with the introduction of the euro, yeah, easy not to change money, so it's really also in the habits now of a European. And I think we also see international cross-border schemes. Take a PayPal. Yeah? There are only very few countries in Europe where PayPal is not really the dominating factor, like in the Netherlands, yeah, where they have Ideal. Yeah? So there is no need for PayPal. But this is really the exception. So it is more that in other countries, PayPal is dominating, take this as an example, and other, let's say, interests where banks and national bank communities have introduced a kind of competitive service to that, so far at least failed. So this is why it is necessary to offer a cross-border solution, also because of the business case. And this is why collaboration is important, because cross-border transactions are, of course, the vast minority of the payment transactions a bank has, because most of them are national. So this is always an issue of the business case for a bank to finance all of that. And this, of course, even more asks for collaboration, cooperation, and this is why we see a lot of benefit, not only for the banks, but also for the inhabitants of Europe.
Well, certainly ending on a positive note there. Michael, thank you so much for sharing your insights. It's really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.